When I reviewed this new RadioMaster Pocket a couple of days ago, I mentioned that it comes with different colour cases. I ordered the one that's in this rather nice translucent charcoal, but it's also available in clear. But RadioMaster sell different colour cases if you want them. They come in blue, orange, pink and yellow, and they cost $14.99 direct from the RadioMaster website. And I've managed to get my hands on this interesting looking blue case. So today I'm going to show you how to tear this down and put all the innards into this nice new case. Hello and welcome to the Whirly Bloke channel. So I've got no idea how hard it's going to be to tear this down. I haven't had this apart, and I'm going to put it all into this new case. And there's already some wires in here for the batteries, so let's see how we get on. So there's every chance I might mess this up completely. If I do, it's all on video. So first things first, get these off. I've had these off before, so I know what they do, and I need to get these batteries out, which are, oh blimey, they're tight. Take that off. Right, what have we got? Looks like there are 4 Allen screws holding that in. That's the wrong size to start with. Let's find something a bit more suitable. Yeah, that's it. Right. So, 4 of these. RadioMaster have made it much easier recently to get their radios apart. But I can see the problem immediately. It's not long enough. Ah, there we are. Does that fit? Yeah, there we go. So this is a 2mm hex driver. Unfortunately, this is magnetic. So, hopefully, that should be enough. Careful, careful, careful. Okay. Let me put those somewhere safe. So it looks like we've just got one loose ribbon cable here. So we can prise that out. There we go, don't pull it by the wires. There we go. So I think it looks like we've got a few screws holding the PCB down. 1, 2, 3, 4 by the looks of it. 5 and 6. Then we've got 4 screws for each of the gimbals. The LRS module is screwed to the main board, so I won't have to remove that. And it sort of looks okay, but I'm going to tackle this bit first, the back. This looks like, have a look at what we've got here. And if you get bored of this, you can just skip around on the timeline. Okay, 2 battery connectors, they go in there and there. And there's some sort of retaining clip for the cables. Yep. So that's held in by 2 screws. So this is the rotary switch here, the rotary knob, and then there's the momentary button there. So let's do this one first. Hopefully all these screws are going to be the same size. That would be great. There's nothing worse than having all different sizes. I'm going to take these out first and have a quick look. Yep, these all look to be the same. And I think we can take, what's that? Ah, that's the connection for there. That's the connection for there. So I can take these battery connections off, because I've already got those in the new case, and undo those two. Oh, that's annoying. These two screws are shorter than the ones that hold those in. So I'm going to keep those somewhere special. And there's another screw there, look. Yep, that's the same size. So all those three are the same. That should lift out. Okay, let me just unclip these from here. Some little retaining clips holding the cables in. What's going on there? That's all wrapped around there, so that's come through that side bit. I'll try and keep the cables in the same place as they were when I took them out. Why is that so hard to get out? Okay, there we go. There we go. Hopefully that will just lift out. That just lifts out, although it doesn't seem to want to. Is there something? Oh, it just needs wiggling out of its hole. There we go, and there's this button which we've got to put back in. How does that come out? What's that? I don't seem to have got that on there. There's an interesting little stud on there. Let me get this out first. Doesn't want to come, does it? That's been awkward. Why won't that come out? There's nothing I can see that's stopping it, other than some of the standoffs in here. Just needed a bit of pressure. Okay, now you can see here there's this strange little standoff which doesn't seem to be on this case. What on earth is that? Ah, those are the adjusters for the gimbals. I see. So this one is screwed right in. So I'm going to make this the same. And I think I need something. Is that a hex or is that... I think it is a hex. It's a very small hex. There we go. So rather than muck about, I'm just going to wind this in to the same depth as the one that's on the case that I'm taking apart. So you can see here, there's a screw there and a screw there, and that will be for adjusting the gimbal tension or end stops. I'm not quite sure which. So let's have a look on here. This one is coming out to 6mm. Where's it gone? Oh yeah. Almost. Six millimeters, that's good. Is there anything else on here that looks different? No, that's good. Right, so let's move all this onto here. Put the button back on first. Okay, it was easier to get in than it was to take out, that's for sure. Slides in there, and these are the shorter screws. Three screws in here, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so we can plug these power leads back in here, making sure I get them the right way around. One, and that is 2. There we go. And just need to put this up here, making sure that it locates in the little... Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's looking good, and this just needs to wiggle into here. Come on, in you go. There we go. decided to not quite fit. Oh, there's a little locating pin there. It's a tiny little locating pin just there. As always when you're doing this, just take it nice and slow and don't force anything. If something's not going in properly, there's probably a good reason, and you could end up breaking something. After all, these are screws going directly into plastic, and I've got that in the wrong place. Yeah, that's not matched up by the hole. Why is that not going? Oh, there's another little locating pin there. So on the pot board, there's a little locating pin there, just next to the screw, and there's another one there, just next to that screw. Okay, that's good. That's going all the way around, and that works. So let me just tuck these down in here, where they were in the first place. That's good. And that's good. Those went through the little standoffs there. Same with this one. Okay, well that was easy. All looks good. Right, let's get on to the main case. There's a little bit more to do here. So I think I'm going to, what's that? Speaker. Now, it looks to me like this just pops out. The antenna is fixed inside. I don't know whether this is a dipole antenna or not. That comes out easily, so I can have a quick look. I don't really want to force that. No, I'm not going to force that. That's asking for trouble. But I think I'm going to have to take this little UNC connector off here. But it's got some gunge on there to stop it coming off or falling off, one of the two. I'm going to get rid of that. Ew. I was hoping this would just peel off. Is that really? Yeah. Just wondering, there we go, that's come off. I'll clean that up and put some hot glue on there when I put it back together. So this looks like it's just, well, I'm hoping I can just press that to pop it out. Not obvious, is it? There we go. So I'm just pushing in these little retaining clips on the underside, and I can see that it's moving. There we go. You can see there's just these little retaining clips that's holding that in. Okay. So I think we'll just disconnect the gimbals. They can only go one way round. That goes to there, that goes to there, that goes to there, and that goes to there. I wonder what that's for. And we can take that gimbal out. Come on, there you come. Okay. Stopping that. It's always the same when you take something apart for the first time. Something non-obvious that stops it coming apart. Can't see anything that's stopping that coming out. Oh yes, I can. The main PCB. I'll put that on that side. It's really quite nice for a tiny gimbal. Okay. So up here, you probably can't see, but as I take things off, I'm putting everything in the same location physically as where it is on here, so I don't lose track of where I am. There's no instructions for this, so you do have to make your own way. And hopefully, if anybody needs it, they might be able to use this, what I suspect is going to be quite a long video. Okay, those 4 screws are out, and it just needs wiggling out from under the PCB. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, actually. I thought I could just lift it out with the screws in, but obviously not. It seems that my magnetic screwdriver is losing its magnetic power. So come on, let's see if we can get you out. There we go. There you come. Come on. Just leave that in there. Okay, so those are all out. Well, I don't know whether that's fixed to the board or whether that's just going to fall out, but I suspect all these will move around again. It'll be interesting to see. I wonder if they just pull off. I think they're just going to pull off because I'm not going to be able to. Let's have a quick test. Yes. So So they just pull off there. Keep those that way round. What are you doing, doggy? Oh, my dog's just found something in the bin. Oh, you're not going to crunch that. It's going. Oh, she's gone out. That's all right. Right, so let's get these screws out. I just hope they're all the same size. Yeah, they're looking good. There's 6 of them. Make sure you don't lose them. One of those buttons will stay in place, or they'll all fall out. So we've got some connectors here. That looks like power to the display. What does that say? That's a speaker, so that can come out. And then we've got a ribbon cable, which I'm assuming is the display again. So just unlock the little latch there, and that should just pop out. There we go. Don't force that. Remember to undo the latch as well. So is that coming out? Feels like it. Just heard something drop. Oh, it's the squirrel wheel. Okay. Right. Scroll wheel's there. Okay, so that rests in there, but it's going to have to fit back into that pot. Put it back together, that might be a bit fiddly. Okay, so we've got a couple of buttons. Let's see. Ooh, make sure we don't lose those. And then I think just need to undo this speaker. Nice little bracket holding it in place. There we go. That just lifts out. Very nice. Okay, so we just need to get the display, and that looks like, oh, there's the on off button, that can come out. The display and the, oh, that's the transmitter strap hook. So if there's a bit of a break in the video, that's because my SD card just got full. Right. So as I was saying, there's 2 screws here, just in the bottom there, that are holding the neck strap bracket. Just falls out the front there. Keep those with the screws so we know what they're for. That's good. I think we're nearly there. So we just need to remove the display. Four screws, all the same size. Now, little retaining plastic part there, and hopefully this just lifts out. Be careful with this. There we go. And that is it. all torn down, so we just need to put everything back together now. This blue is going to be an interesting colour. So let's start with the LCD. Just put everything back in the order that you took it apart in. Fairly obvious really. I'm bound to mess something up though. It's a problem with doing it live. And again, remember when you're screwing these screws in, don't do them up too tight. It's metal going into plastic, and they're not really designed to go in about 100 times. It's probably once or twice. So good, that's nice and flush. Right, what's next? Speaker. Well, let's put those back in there. Model button. You'll find that there's a little keyway on here to make sure it goes the right way up. So it says sys and model. So put this neck strap back on first, I think. 2 screws holding that in. First one's in. And again, it's a good idea when you've got multiple screws holding something in, don't be tempted to tighten the first screw up tight. Put everything in just loosely until everything's in place. Okay, that's good. That's fallen out. Okay, let's get the speaker back in. It went out that side and the cables came out there. Okay. Again, there's just this little mounting piece. First one in. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. And if you're doing this yourself, you're not going to have to talk to yourself like I'm doing. Why won't that go in? No, I don't want to catch those wires, so make sure they are clear. Yes. Good. Okay, that's good. Right. So next we can put the power button back in like that, and then you know what, I'm going to put the gimbals back in first. I think it's going to be easier because they're a bit of a tight fit around the PCB. I thought I'd lost a gimbal screw, but it was actually in the hole. Classic. So far this is going better than I expected. I'm not going to say I made no mistakes because that means something will happen. Okay, That's going in that way around. Oops. That's nice and flush. Put the other gimbal in. Now I've had my RadioMaster Pocket for just a little over a week when RadioMaster sent it to me for review, and I have been using it quite a lot. And I've been surprised that I like it so much because, as I said in my review video, I prefer generally to have a larger radio. Even though I've got tiny little hands, I always grew up, when I first started flying RC models and helis, and I was a pincher, and I think you can't break a habit of how you started doing something, and you can actually pinch with this quite nicely, whereas I find it's not so easy to do on the game style controllers like the Zorro. Okay, that's in. Okay, everything's in, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Screws down here, those are going in the front. Now, I think I'm going to put this back in before the PCB's in, because it gives me a little bit more clearance here. That goes in a lot easier than it comes out. And make sure it folds backwards that way. Now, let's remove some of this gunk off here, but I need to be really careful because I don't want to break the connection, the crimp connection. I'll tidy that up a bit later. Okay, so let's get this back in here. So those go over the top, that's fine. Those go over the top, that's fine. That came in the bottom, and that goes through there, along with the LCD power, I assume that is. So that goes in there. Then we've got the ribbon cable. If I can push that up through there. Come on, you little monkey. That doesn't want to go, does it? Oh. There we go. Don't forget the antenna, Dave. Come on. Oh, now the ribbon cable's dropped out. There we go. This comes apart easier than it goes back together, but it's just a case of wiggling all the wires back into place. Okay. And there was a speaker cable somewhere. There it is. Okay, let's plug that in before we forget. Fantastic. So ribbon cable, make sure that the latch is up, and that will just slot in there. You don't need to push it in hard. Just make sure it's, there we go, and then you can just push the latch over and make sure that it's caught. Fantastic. So before I put the screws in, one thing I have got to do is put the scroll wheel back in. I think this might be a bit on the fiddly side. So that needs to slot in there. That's good. And then this drops down. Has that gone in? Or has it fallen out of the slot? That doesn't help, does it? I've missed that slightly. Let me just do that again. This is a bit fiddly. So let me get the model button back up into place, because that was stopping it going down. Model, make sure it's the right way up. Oh, scroll wheel's fallen out. So when you put this in, you've got to locate that end piece into the pot. I'm sure somebody will find a better way of doing this. And then just slowly pushing that down and hoping it locates in the top of the case. Okay. No, it's still not flush. What's going on here? Something's stopping that going down. What on earth is it? Buttons have fallen out again. Fiddly fiddly. Checking that's the right way up. That's the right way up. You'll know when it gets into play because it will just click and everything will be held nice and securely. It's this little scroll wheel that's a pain in the neck. It has to sit on the little switch, which is the, you can hear it when I press it. Something's stopping that going down. Maybe the antenna cable. That's not helping, is it? Ah, I think I see what's going on. I think the SD card is stopping it going down. Yeah, that's gone down properly now. It's probably a good idea to take that out before you start. So is that in place? There we go. That's better. So yeah, take the SD card out before you start. It just pushes out a little bit and stops it slotting down into the bottom there. Let's just put a couple of these screws in just to hold it in place so it doesn't pop out again. Feels good. So we've got the power for the display, we've got the ribbon cable in, we've got the speaker cable back in, we just need to connect up the gimbals. It's going to be quite difficult to get the gimbals the wrong way around because of the way that the cables are oriented and the connectors are on the PCB. Nice bit of PCB layout design there. Goes in. Let me check that I've got the right way around. Yes. They are keyed. I'll pull that down out of the way. This one is the same. That's secure, that's secure, that's secure, that's secure. Good. Okay. So I just need to reconnect the antenna. I'm not going to do it now because I haven't got my hot glue gun fired up and ready to go. But I will come back and put a dab of hot glue on here to hold it in place securely, but that's clicked nicely in place, which is good. So a quick check before I get the rest of the screws in. All the switches are working. They're latching, that's good. Gimbals full and free. I can put the... oh! Guess what I forgot? The power button. I'm going to take that all apart again. Alright, I'm going to come back in a minute when I've done that. Well, that was really annoying. Managed to get the power button in. Managed to just lift up PCB and just hook it in with a pair of tweezers. So I didn't want to put you through all that again. Anyway, let's get the rest of these PCB screws in. Again, don't do them all up tight, just put them all in so that the PCB is firmly located, and then we'll nip them all up when we know everything's in place. So I've made the mistake so you don't have to. But this isn't, oh come on, it's not a difficult job, but you just need to keep track of everything. Okay, let's just do these up so everything's nice and flush. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. And we can put the little joystick caps back on. Good. Right, so let's just double check everything. We've got gimbals connected. All the cables are out of the way. Ribbon cables connected for the display. Power is connected for the display. We've got the speaker connected. That's good. There's nothing in the way. This is the little buzzer here. So keep the cables out of the way of that. All the switches are working. That's all good. Antennas connected. Nothing else has come loose, hopefully. Just check on the front. Gimbals are all good. Power button's working. Trims are working. Those buttons are working. Those are all working. That's working. And it presses. Yeah. So. And I managed to get these lined up. Again, it's much easier if you take this out before you start. Didn't even think of that. There we go. So I think we can button this up now. Just a case of putting the ribbon cable back in between the back and the front. And this is just a connector for the main power from the batteries and to the external module adapter pin connector here. Okay, that's in securely. Have I put the tab down? Let me double check. Tab is down on the display ribbon cable. That's good. So everything looks like it's in place. Fantastic. I'll just put these 4 screws back now. The module, yeah, that's, just check that's lined up correctly. I think we are nearly done. And hopefully I've got the adjustments correct on the gimbal adjusters. You just have to mess about with that. Let's use that one to... That's a bit better. I think the ends are wearing out on this one. I've had this quite a long time. Okay, that looks good. Is there anything I've forgotten? There's a little ELRS sticker there, but I'll leave that on there, I think. Good. Well, the good thing about having the clear case is that you can see inside and see whether there's anything interfering with anything. But it all looks good. Okay. Well, let's get some power on this and see where we are. Oh, just need to check those gimbals. Yep, that's nice and loose. And that's the same as it was before. Fantastic. So the cover goes on there. A couple of batteries. These are RadioMaster supplied ones, but you can use any 18650 style cells. These are 2500 milliamp hour. I haven't had to charge these yet. And it's lasted me pretty much a week. I've done quite a bit of flying. Now, is it going to go up in a puff of smoke?
Welcome to HTX. Throttle warning.
Okay, I need to probably recalibrate the gimbals. In fact, I'm going to do that now. So, where we go, sys, page back, and we're going page forward there. Calibration. Always worth doing when you've had this apart. So that's on the sys menu on page 6. Calibrating, put them in the centre to start. Enter to start, set sticks to midpoint, which they are, press enter, and then just waggle everything around. And I can see on the legend here that everything is moving as it should. And let's just do the pot, that's good. And just press enter when done. Fantastic. Just check those are doing what they should be doing. It's useful having these little legends on here. So that's it. Let's just turn the backlight on and see in all its glory. So you go to page 3 on sys, you scroll down to backlight. and everything lights up. It's great when you're out, but it's not great on for the camera because it just swamps out the camera completely. Let's just turn that off. Get this back together. It can be a bit fiddly to get in. Come on, in you go. It does not want to go, does it? The other one on. That's got on a bit easier. So these rubber grips are actually pretty comfortable. No complaints about the build quality and the feel of this. It's pretty good. There we go. Looks fantastic. Just checking. There's no bits left over on here and I've got no screws left. So everything's done. So I've gone from this to this. Like I say, RadioMaster are selling these on their website now they come in blue, orange, pink and yellow, and they're quite bright luminous colours, which I think is good. I'm going to give this a test out just to make sure that I haven't disturbed anything on the RF module, and I think that looks rather good, different from the rest of the crowd. Anyway, hopefully that was useful for somebody, including spotting my mistakes, and hopefully you don't make the same mistakes. Thanks for watching, and if you like what I've done here or you've got any comments, do let me know down below. Remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.